Hey there, I talked about, I think the show Cops, I know I've mentioned it before, my spouse and I, we were into conspiracies and we studied a lot of things. The government, collapse, the false flags. We started watching Cops and we started prepping for a government collapse at that time. Bought Glocks, bought guns, got our concealed carry permits, things like that. Started training our family too. What do you do if an intruder comes in, this and that? So in that regard, we became a lot more knowledgeable, about really what was going on around the streets. Not that we didn't know that, we did. But now that I'm awake and everything, it's really hard to watch these shows. And you guys shove them in our face all day long. All day long. I recorded a video, One Hot Toddy, It's Just a Job. You guys are the same way to me because you treat everybody like a criminal. If you actually showed up and treated people with respect and that they're trauma victims, the world would be a whole different place, man. I know that's hard to wrap your brain around. And I hate hearing you fucking people sitting there and you talk to these people that have had calls, 911 calls or what have you, and need the police to come. You talk to them like they're your kids. They're not your kids. You talk to them like some nasty mom that you fucking hated probably your whole life. Some of you are respectful and a lot of you are not. These people are trauma victims. They're not criminals. From squatters to people doing drugs to homeless to, boyfriend-girlfriend fights to shoplifting. You treat them like criminals and they're trauma victims. So why don't you turn your brain around and think about that for a minute and see how different the world would be. Same goes for you. If you have a company open to the public, you better have resources for people that are traumatized. The world would be a whole different place if you treated them like a trauma victim. And I guess I need to give you an example. So you get called because a squatter's there. Why don't you say, we have a place for you to go to. You don't have to do this. Let's get a hold of your family and your contacts and see your IDs and see what's going on. Tell us what happened to you growing up. And we're going to make sure you have what you need to survive in life. You sit there and banter with people like that freaking typical banter. You're doing the same bantering that all these movies show. How doth do you? Why do you doth take the drug? You question people like they're idiots. You guys are the idiots, I'm sorry. You do a horrible job with the public. You're not peacekeepers, and there's good cops out there, and there's some really fucked up people that you think you're their mom and dad. Why did you do that? Why didn't you just do that? I told you I'm going to take that from you if you don't shut up. I told you I'm going to do that. You sound like somebody's mother. We need gods and role models, not moms and dads and sex partners. A lot of you cops are guilty of criminal activities, including rape. Okay? I uploaded a video called One Hot Toddy and Behind Closed Doors. There's a lot of that going on in law enforcement, that you guys are being abused by officers of the law. I challenge you to be with God and to treat people like trauma victims. It'd be a whole different world. And I challenge you to go vegan as law enforcement and military and police and fire department. So you're not so wrapped up in the killing fields that you don't even know your ass from a hole in the ground, and you sound like an asshole when you approach people and talk to them. And I'm really sick of your high-speed chases. Every high-speed chase, the majority of them, they end up hurting other people because you're chasing them with your fucking cars. This has to stop. I know better not to chase a kid. They're gonna run into a table or fall down. I hate the game Chase as it is, chasing kids and making them run into walls and hurting them and scaring them. The big chase scene you guys like to do, cops and robbers, and you chase people and you end up killing other people. This has to stop. Be a whole different world if you didn't do this. How many hours did we get to watch the O.J. Simpson car chase on the freeway? And you sit there and banter with people for fucking an hour and you put on TV. It's just a job. It's just a job. You guys are a big problem of why the world is like it is. It's just a fucking job, and we're sick of it displayed on our TV sets all day long. It's just an action adventure movie, and you guys are out for vengeance on the public. You're horrible people, some of you, and some of you are good. And the good ones are going to rise up and be the light. And the bad ones are going to go to hell because they're already in hell, and they're making everybody go to hell with them. And we're not going to put up with it anymore. We're not. I challenge you to rise above this and be the change. We're sick of your TV shows. Why don't you have a special channel for people, freaks that want to watch this shit and learn what not to do? These are what not to do when dealing with the public and the trauma victims out there. Share my video. Step up, man. Be the change. Be with light and be with God, and go vegan right away. It'll help your brain matter and your Neanderthal ways of treating people like shit. We're not putting up with it anymore as the public. We're going to state our case. And I'm not into the protests. I'm not into any of that. I'm just letting you know right here, you need to stop it. You're not our moms and dads. Quit acting like that. We already had moms and dads that probably treated us like shit. You're not an extension of our family like that. We need real people that know and understand trauma when they see it and know how to help them. If you have a business open to the public, I'm warning you, you're going to have resources for people that are traumatized. And all you people owning these stores all over the world, all these cigarette shops and liquor shops and non-vegan food shops and killing fields, calling yourself veterinarians and doctors. You guys are some of the worst people on the planet because you don't help people that are really traumatized. If you have a business open to the public, you better know you're going to be called upon by God to help people. And you better step out of your little sheeple box because that's all you're in, of bullshit. How many people do I need to see on the street with their ass hanging out and their clothes ripped because they just got raped by you at a liquor store here in California? How many people do we need to see humped over that they can't even move on the street because of the Doctorville and the killing fields? And you guys don't understand any of this. I'm not for the protesting. I'm not for people running to other countries and trying to seek and do illegal things where you're getting arrested. I don't want you being arrested out there. I don't want anybody being arrested or doing stupid shit to get yourself arrested. Please make a promise to me that you will not. I don't care what's going on in your life. Don't let them kick you out of that eviction that you got evicted from. Just leave. Just leave. I promise other doors will open up for you. It's not worth getting arrested. These people don't know how to treat you, so don't let them touch you. And don't get arrested and don't do stupid stuff. Don't drink and drive. Just don't do it. I'm a big proponent of off the shelf, over the counter. That's where you get your stuff, from your good food to your green drinks. Have a beer if you need it to calm down. Dispensaries are legal in most states. You can buy this stuff legally. You don't have creepy people selling you weird drugs on the streets. Do me a favor and make me a promise. You're not going to keep buying this bullshit out there and get taken down by the system. And all this and all these areas where they're calling you a drug addict or an alcoholic or this and that, it's tied to the food chain and doctors. It's tied to big pharma. All they are is a death cult. That's all you are, from veterinarians to hunters to fishermen to doctors. Restaurant owners, you're part of the death cult. There didn't used to be cows and pigs. We're in areas we don't want to be in as humans and as animals. Quit treating people like they're your kid. They're not your kid. They're traumatized adults and kids. A lot of them had really bad role models and horrible things happen to them in the underworld, they call it. I met God. I know the real God. I'm with human versions of him all over. You all have the divinity in you, but I did meet the real God. I was taken down, and a lot of energy weapons were used on me. God is a true Gentile, okay? There's a mother God. It's the Trinity. It's not the Father, Son, the Holy Ghost. It's the mother, father, the child. And a lot of you are confused about sexuality, and you're being taken down stupid paths by people that didn't understand. You are mostly bisexual, a lot of you, and you're so turned off by your childhood that you'd rather date a man or you'd rather date a woman. And that's just how it goes. I met a flight attendant, and I was so confused, and I said, I think I'm gay. I hate my dad. He goes, oh, hon, you're just bisexual. And I married men, and I never dated a woman. But I know that's what's going on with you too. There's a lot of trauma there. You're better off not dating anybody. If you have a safe place and you're making money or you have a way to create income, you'll see. I told you that episode of Sex and the City. Sex and the City is a show you can watch that was popular, and it's funny and everything else. And every time they get away from the men, these women are power horses and powerhouses and big people in careers. One was an attorney, one was a publicist, and the other one was she wrote magazine articles. And every time they got away from the men, they were like winning and achieving success in their own right. So you're better off not dating. Just go celibate. You don't need a man or a woman in your life to bring you joy. But if you have a good one, hang on to them. There's a lot of confusion when you wake up to the telepathic world and the universe, which is what we are. I see these people that want to put plates on and say they're sovereign nationalists and this and that. I understand your frustration. I do. I understand it because it's such a broke system and they treat people like criminals. And all this stuff and confusion is going to stop. The DMV is one of the worst facilities you can ever be a part of. They create a fake shortage and they treat people horrible. I just drove by there today, the longest line I've ever seen. It's disgusting. They create these are the same people that create that fucking nightclub line. They're the same people doing it. They created a fake shortage and it's all bullshit. And if you require these things, you need to pay for them. That's what I think. If you require an ID, a registration, you need to pay for it. This is how the world is going to be, that it is going to be supplemented like that. And we are going to pay for it. I can talk in Patrice. I'm a different spirit. You guys have different spirits in you. And I can talk fast, I can talk slow, I can talk this. You have the spirits that talk for you. And I'll say Patrice because I'm talking to her like a third person or she's different. I'm different from her. My name is Mary. A lot of you don't understand. When you don't censor yourself, you have other spirits in you that come forward and you have different names. You've had past lives that are here saying, wake up, wake up, wake up. Your name is important. And sometimes when you wake up, you feel like you just will disappear and you don't matter. You do matter. I mentioned this before. It's not the law to go to school and have your kids in school. You can be at home with them, but they can't be latchkey kids. They can't be alone. It's not the law. They're glorified babysitters. And there's a lot of schools that have helped people because they've had worse home lives. And there's a lot of schools that have hurt people and taken them from their families and didn't know either that they were just a glorified babysitter. It's not the law to vaccinate your kid. You get healthy eating plant-based food. I was a meat eater my whole life, and I kept having to wake up to this. I was being forced and made sick and shown. I had to wake up to vegan and plant-based eating. It's a process and it takes a while. And don't feel guilty if you're eating meat. You wouldn't kill an animal to eat. You know better. And we know better now. Hunters and fishermen are some of the most sadist people you could ever be a part of. And they like to brag how they keep their family fed. No, you're not. You're not. You're going about it the wrong way. Why don't you grow some veggies? It's too hard. So you guys think it's too hard to grow vegetables. Vegetables want to be grown. fruits. Fruit is the natural sweetener. Just know that. A lot of vegan baking, they use fruit, you know, to sweeten their cakes and stuff. Seek it out. Seek out plant-based food. And you can turn on any station and watch these disgusting cop shows. They love to tout their horse's ass. And they love to be jackasses on camera too. You guys look like jackasses to us that are awake. I challenge you to treat people like trauma victims. It'd be a whole different world. Quit doing ads for doctors. And we're sick of ads on TV, period. We're sick of your stupid advertising. They're just, the corporations have a pie chart, and you put this money towards this money towards this money towards advertising. Quality over quantity. The bots are in this really strong, making you can spend money all day long. They'll take your wealth faster than you can spend it. Okay, these aren't your fault that this is happening, that you've run out of money or this has happened. It's not your fault. You're connected to everybody else and the bots. And the spirits saying, oh, she's ugly. Oh, she's fat. All they're doing is trying to sell you stuff all day. And this is subliminal. When you're not awake, it's subliminal. You don't realize until you wake up and you hear what's going on in the dialogue. It's disgusting. All right, toodaloo. Peace out. Get your shit together, cops. I'm not kidding. All right.